Uncle Ebo Whyte joins us in the studio. I don't even know whether we should introduce and give all the names. Nah, we shouldn't do that.
I know.
We appreciate our own, our legendary Uncle Ebo Whyte. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. You are with the busy schedule. Thank you so much for showing
Making
up
time for us.
Yes, and our audience.
I said that with me, when you say thanks for coming, my mind goes to something else.
Oh my goodness, what a nice way to start.
You've written too many plays. There's too much in your head, so any statement you pass, he puts it into theater. We can act it. So thanks for coming.
Oh my goodness.
Not again. Actually, but we just want to be honest here. We cannot talk about love and the other side of it, especially when you're in this country. We always want to draw from you. Now today we are just, narrowing down to the root of abusive relationship.
Yeah.
It can go wider to even domestic violence. What type of abusive relationships? Is it emotional, physical? There's so many types. We really want to get your general take on that and what you have to say to me, and viewers out there, especially this month.
Are you going through an abusive relationship?
Not yet, but I'm rehearsing to walk out of it.
I think that thank you once again for having me. Abusive relationships happen more because two things. One, because of our culture. Our culture imposes a lot of pressure on young women to get married. You hit a certain age. Ghana as a society does not give a woman the choice to decide whether I want to marry or not. You've got to marry.
You have to marry.
Unfortunately. And therefore, at a certain point, the pressure mounts. And the pressure can come from all sorts. It can come from church, sometimes even from the pulpit. That to get everybody off your case, you settle for less. You don't love him, but he's the one who...
You can accommodate for a while.
Or has said, I'll marry you.
Yes.
But deep within, I don't really love him. The chemistry is not there. I don't like too many things about him. And so the pressure we put on people, on ladies, make them, at a certain point, they don't have a choice. They just plunge into it. The second pillar of this disaster is the fact that a lot of us don't love ourselves. We don't have a positive view of ourselves. We don't think we deserve love. Either because of our background, the way we have been raised and socialized, because the way we raise children in Ghana is very abusive.
Right from
parents use insults to raise children.
Yeah.
I was raised in Kumasi at South Central, and I remember you could hear the insults. Hey, Abuanchonwi what? And this is your mother chasing you. Shane Hubi, Shane Nimbi, Shane Naibi. This is from your caregiver.
I'm trying to translate it into English.
Okay, try. Good luck. The Abuanchiri is...
It's best understood. It's a language every child understands, whether you can speak to you or not.
So we grow up, especially in Ghana, with a very negative view of ourselves. So we don't even think we have a right to demand the best. And I give people this illustration. When you go to the trotro station, there are some people who will never gather the courage to go to the front, even if it is available. Because they don't say, hey, me go to the front. Baby, I don't deserve it. So they then translate this into a relationship. So, and sometimes, and that's the painful thing, there's Kofi and John. Kofi loves me to bits, but no, he's too good for me. John is not that much into me. He gives me grief, but I'm more comfortable with that. Because it is a world I know. I know the world of abuse. So that is how we get ourselves into the pressure that society imposes unfairly on young ladies. Incidentally, we don't put that pressure on men.
Amazing. I don't know.
No, we don't.
Uncle, no. Why? Can you just tell me why?
Because men, frankly, we don't care. we don't care.
Is it a male-controlled society we live in?
Oh, Ghana is not a male-controlled society. Ghana is a female-dominated society. But the ladies, the women are very clever. They rule and give us the impression that you are ruling.
Sorry. Something nice this
You
morning.
go to any home.
Yes.
Who has a say? Who is most powerful in the home?
Well,
It's a mother.
yeah.
But she has, if she's a wise woman, she has a way of making the father and the children think that your daddy is running the show. But anytime daddy takes a position that is not favorable to her, trust me, by the next morning, the decision will be changed. Now, when I was a small boy, I didn't know how it was done. Now I'm a married man, I know how it is done. It is called the 3 a.m. conference.
My goodness.
3 a.m. That's when you are waking up and said, we need to talk.
Uncle Ebo, let me center this on a lot of women, since I know men also go through some level of abuse in their relationship, but most often you find
ours
women...
is a verbal one.
Verbal abuse,
you know, and if you're in a verbal abusive relationship, it's because that person you are relating to, that girl, has so much bitterness inside. That has nothing to do with you. She is already damaged from previous relationships, which she picked because of the way she was raised, and she didn't think she deserved the best. So she picked losers, and then she brings it. She hasn't, as it were, gotten rid of all the baggage, she's brought it into this, and it's pouring it out on you. And sometimes if you understand that, you can cure her of that. Especially when you let her know, look, don't be insecure. I am here for the long haul, so you don't have to be afraid. I'm not going to treat you like the others did. And then it calms her down.
Yeah.
And then she's able to overcome it. What is more difficult to overcome is the physically abusive ones, and the emotionally abusive one, which can, emotionally abusive can come from both men and women. But the physically abusive comes more from the men against the women.
Yeah.
And I jokingly say that if you're a man and your woman is physically abusing you, you deserve it. Shut up and suffer.
Okay.
No, if you want for a woman who can beat you, oh my brother.
Maybe
Let
the
her
man
be too
is just
small.
gentle and doesn't want to,
Come again.
Maybe the man is just being gentle
And doesn't want
to manage the situation by
And
not reacting.
No, if it is just slaps, I can understand.
But
If
the
there's an argument and pop, and okay, I want to be a gentleman, so
I'll lay back.
So I lay back. But when you are being beaten to the point that, and it's not a modern phenomenon. When I was a small boy, I remember this occasion. My mother used to leave home very early. By 6 a.m., she's already out. And one day, as she was going to catch trotro, she heard this man shouting in the neighborhood, "Mama, mi kumi yiro, Mama, mi kumi yiro." And my mother was alarmed because he knew the man and the house from which it was coming. So she rushes in there to see, enters their hall, and here is a man on the ground, his wife sitting on him and giving him a beating of his life. So my mom said, but you said,
Imagine.
True. No, true. I watched a video where a man was being beaten by a woman in the street, and they were acting it out, and nobody responded to the man's
cries.
The cries.
Yeah.
But when they reversed the situation, the man was beating the woman. Everybody came around.
Keep quiet and so on. So nobody gave you that woman. You went for that woman.
We went for that woman. Yesterday, a caller shared a certain short story, something she's going through, and it brings me to my next question. Well, she said that she's in a relationship. The man had promised her marriage, only for the man to end up marrying another woman and still ask for her hand in marriage, and she just can't leave. She's still stuck in the relationship. Now, what would drive
She
a
actually
woman?
even was the bridesmaid.
Yes, she was even a bridesmaid for the wedding.
Come again.
Yes, Uncle Ebo.
Uncle Ebo, did you just say that?
Come again.
Yeah, come again. I did, unfortunately.
What would drive a woman to stay in, I don't want to call it an abusive relationship, but there's a certain level of emotional abuse here. What would drive a person to stay in a place like this?
A poor self-image. She doesn't think she deserves love. She doesn't think she deserves better. Go into her life and you find that her parents were abusive. Her mother or father abusive to her, or abusive to each other, and she lived in that environment, and it has formed her worldview. She doesn't think she deserves love.
How can a person walk out of, what can I do? Loving myself is a general thing that, yes, I can, okay, Uncle Ebo says I should love myself. How do I do this?
Maybe we should even look at what are the red flags. What do you see to know that this is an abusive relationship?
It's a potentially abusive person.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The way he treats other people.
Right.
In traffic, when he's upset, how does he
React.
You know, the way he gets abusive to people and gets violent, even though he doesn't get down and things like that, will tell you this guy has anger, some anger issues. The way he speaks to you, if he's not happy, if you express a contrary view to his position, all those. The way his father treats his wife, because one of the unfortunate things, unfortunate if you come from a bad background, but very fortunate if you come from a good one, is that boys grow to become their fathers.
Right.
Girls grow to become their mothers. So if you have a wonderful father, good for you. If you have a father who had no self-control and who had no limits, then
Bad for you.
bad for you. You've got to be careful. In the same way. So if you can do that kind of homework, it will help. But what he does, how he treats other people, when something happens, how he reports it to you, and what was running through his mind. You know, that a colleague of mine did that, and he was lucky it was in the office. How would I have beaten him? Then you realize, oh, no, wait, this guy.
My
temperament.
question that I feel that a lot of young women would want me to ask is that, how can I manage how much I feel about this man? I have butterflies in my stomach. I'm so sure that I'm in love with this man, and yet he's abusive. And I'm struggling, genuinely, because this love is pure, and I really feel something for this man. I don't want to walk away, and yet I'm struggling.
This is a pure feminine question.
Doubt your love, because depending on who you are, your love may be nothing but foolishness. So doubt your love.
Yeah.
Doubt it. That's number one. Number two, there must always be somebody whose voice in your life stops you from whatever you are doing. Somebody to whom you hold yourself accountable. So that you can take this boy to him, and then he has a chat with the two of you. And at the end of it, because at my age, I can tell the quality of a boy within 5 minutes of talking with him.
Okay.
I can tell.
Okay.
I can tell whether he has sense or not.
Before you, does this mean that maturity comes with age?
No, it comes with a bit of experience, positive experience.
Okay.
But
Sorry to throw
I've gone through it. There are boys, when I was younger, I was quite excited about, then later on you learn, no, don't look at the dressing, don't look at the smile. You can ask a few questions that he doesn't even know the implications of the question you're asking him. That will reveal to you what kind of boy he would.
Interesting.
I know. But so tell us, how can I just gently and beautifully walk out of a relationship?
There's no gentle way of doing it. Just walk out.
Is it like the way they say divorce is not given, it's taken?
Yes. Nobody, the guy you have to walk away from will not ask you to go. So just remember that you've got to love yourself more than anybody else. So if you find yourself loving someone more than you are in a bad place.
Okay.
And loving myself means that is this relationship bringing me joy and peace? If not, because that's what is most important. If not, I'm in a wrong relationship.
Okay.
Does this relationship fulfill me, even as I fulfill him? If all you have going is that, oh, he needs me. Oh, he needs me. He's not a puppy. Or the favorite, And ladies, you like making losers your causes. Oh, nobody understands him. Nobody understands him. There's a good reason why nobody understands him. He's an idiot.
I feel like I'm being backlashed.
He's an idiot. So leave him. Let him take his foolishness somewhere else.
Let's, in the interest of time, I know you have a new show coming up as well.
Play.
Yes, it's final warning.
Is this something I should see if I want to walk out of an abusive relationship?
It is a story of the most beautiful marriage you would ever know.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'd like to thank you for having me.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much,
coming.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Thank you so
It's
much.
happening at the
I'm just
usual
looking at
place,
the clock and I
Maswati
realize
FM.
that I have to be at your sister station.
Yes,
Okay,
as
okay.
well.
We'll
Yes.
release you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
making
much.
time for coming.
Well,
Okay.
thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Well, coming up next, we have a conversation